So let's get started. Of course, NFL, we get gear up for NFL football and Sunday and whatnot. Rob G, let's start with the San Francisco 49ers. They're banged up. Some weapons are going to be missing. Tell us who's in, who's out.
Oh, not just some of the weapons. Damn near all of the weapons are going to be sitting out. Now, thankfully for them, they get the Rams, who are similarly banged up. Mm-hmm. They're down their top two receivers, Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp.
Gesundheit.
But Brock Purdy will be rolling in this Sunday minus all-world running back Christian McCaffrey, minus all-pro wide receiver Deebo Samuel, and according to multiple reports, likely to be without all-world tight end George Kittle. So Brock Purdy, the narrative has been, since he's been drafted, what can he do if he didn't have an all-star team around him? How is he going to respond when it's just him and a bunch of guys? We're about to find out real quick on Sunday.
And Kelvin, this is the burden that he carries, okay? When you're Mr. Irrelevant, when the team went to the Super Bowl without you, right, before you got there, and they already had a lot of success, people look at him, and despite the numbers and all the winning that he's done, he's a system quarterback that fits in. The system was already set up. You got all the weapons. What can you do for us when you don't have all that? That is a lot of times when you take a look at people and go, man, he only had 2 slices of bologna and no lettuce or mayonnaise, and he made some sandwich. Like, that is when you win people over, when you don't have everything and you're able to make things work and come together. And I still, to this day, don't believe people will ever, I don't care what contract they give them, I don't. Because a lot of that just has to do with the quarterback and the timing of it. It's not based on really like what you've done. Mm-hmm. Dak hasn't won enough playoff games for him to get $60 million, but it's his time, and that's the going rate for quarterback, so that's why he got paid. He didn't get paid for anything because they haven't done anything.
Right.
And in Brock Purdy's case, people will never buy into him fully until they win a Super Bowl. And until that, it'll always be, he had a nice day as a quarterback, but you know what? We had this great team, and we never won a Super Bowl.
The best thing about life, or the thing we should all aspire and hope we have, is time. And the reason I say that is, it don't matter, Rob Parker. It don't matter as long as he has the time to continue to shut everybody up. So, remember Tom Brady was just a system quarterback? Remember that? It was that defense. It was Adam Vinatieri.
He wasn't Mr. Irrelevant.
He literally almost was.
He was not.
What are you talking about? He was literally, okay, a 20-something picks difference. He was literally the 6th round pick. We make fun of his picture that's posted because he was skinny and looked out of shape, and we're like, no way, this guy's an NFL pro.
He had a dad bod, and he wasn't even having any kids.
That's what I mean. Looked like a dad bod. There's no way this guy is an NFL pro. And, look at him. He's lucky. Some people say that. Look at this system he's in. It's all Bill Belichick. It's all the defense. It's Adam Vinatieri saving him. And you know what he kept doing? He kept winning. Kept showing up. Kept winning.
Did he keep winning those 9 years that they didn't win?
He did keep winning. He didn't win a Super Bowl, but he kept winning.
But
so Brock Purdy, all he has to do
has Brock Purdy won anything yet?
No. Can he get some time?
He's had time.
And what has he done? NFC Championship and a Super Bowl.
They haven't won, though.
NFC Championship and a Super Bowl for the last pick of the draft.
Did they do that before he got there?
Where is Jim Jones when I need him? Balling! You're telling me if I'm the last pick of anything and I've gone to an NFC Championship game, I've gone to a Super Bowl,
but they
and
had
by
done
all
that
accounts,
before he got there is my point.
I can't tell you about the who's and the what's and the black and white TV. I'm telling you what I did. On my clock, I went to the NFC Championship. I went to a Super Bowl. I'm about to get paid, and I agree. This is a moment for him to show them. This is where you step up and say, all right, maybe I won't have incredible numbers per se, but this is where I lead us to a victory. I lean on our defense a little bit. I lean on our running game a little bit. I lean on our amazing play caller and head coach in the system that we have so that we can get some wins. Because sometimes it ain't all about the numbers. It's about did we get the win or not. Because ultimately we'll forget how you won. We'll only remember if you win. So this is an opportunity for him to do that. And it helps that he's doing up against the Rams, as Rob G said. Matter of fact, this game, I mean, you might as well. If you go to a game and you're in the crowd and you're in good enough shape, they might call you to come play for one of these teams. They might call somebody down from the stands because there are banged up, injured players on both sides of both teams here. But I like what Brock Purdy also said. I was reading an article from Charles Robinson, who for Yahoo. and he got a chance to spend time with Brock over the offseason. And Brock said it out loud. He said, the reason I'm saying this out loud, that I want my team, I want this city, I want this organization to believe in me, I want to be the guy. He said, because everybody puts out narratives for you, right? Us talking heads, I want to be the one to tell them, depend on me. I'm here, I'm ready, and this is an opportunity for him to show it.
Here's some numbers just to put some context to it. During his career, Purdy has played 5 games without Deebo Samuel. In those 5 games, Purdy has a 67.4 completion.
Not good.
Okay, 274 yards per game. Only 8 touchdowns and 6 interceptions with a 99.1 passer rating.
That's
in 22
solid.
Games, not 8 touchdowns and 6 picks. That is not solid.
What was the record?
Okay, and in the 22 games with Deebo, it's almost 70%, 37 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, and a quarterback rating of 112.9, so almost 113. Let's hear from Steve Young, the former 49ers quarterback, and talking about Purdy, what he needs to do this Sunday to win.
If they're going to stay with the same plan, then the demand for Brock is even greater. He has to be even more honed on his efficiency to find players that aren't necessarily the top of the top of the game like Deebo, the top of the game like CMC. And now I've got to figure out how to get the ball to them, have them get open. And I'm going to, inevitably, Susie, he's going to have to do more. He's going to have to move around more. He's going to have to put himself at risk more. And he's going to have to do things that aren't necessarily his strong suit. And that might provide great things in the future for when they get to the Super Bowl this year, or have to face Patrick Mahomes or face Lamar Jackson.
Can I tell you when he did that? And it pains me to say so. Against the Detroit Lions in the NFC Championship game, Aiden Hutchinson almost sacked him a couple times. Got out of it. Ran for scrambles, some key first down runs, big runs, huge runs in the fourth quarter. And I'm like, hey, this ain't Brock Purdy. And that was a great showing for him to say, look, we were down. We found a way to win. We were down. We make big plays. We were down. I was able to scramble around, make a big throw, make a big play.
He still hasn't won the big game.
Rob G, how can the man play a 10, 15-year career before we look back? My gosh.
No, you can't play a 15-year career.
If all I've done is 2 years of starting is get you to a NFC Championship game and a Super Bowl, my good, what more do you want from me?
They went before he got there, is my point. So if you're taking a team that's already been there, the next step is to get it over the hump.
Can I get you there?
No,
Give me time.
You were there.
Give me time.
You were there. Did you watch the game?
And who did he go up against?
Did you watch the game when they played the Ravens at home on Christmas night? Did you watch that game?
Who did they play the Super Bowl with? Yes, I watched.
And it was?
And he was not great. Listen, the fact of the matter is, give the man some time to get into another Super Bowl, and then we start to judge him. All I know is if you're the last pick of the draft, literally, they call you Mr. Irrelevant, and now you have become extraordinarily relevant to the point that it leads the Odd Couple show. Great job for you. You got to the NFC Championship game. You got to a Super Bowl. Oh, and by the way, you already have your head coach and the team saying we're about to pay the man because he's only going to make 1+ something next year. But they've already said don't even worry about that. We're about to pay the man.
Are you convinced that the 49ers are going to win the Super Bowl with Brock Purdy? Are you convinced of that?
No, I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced of anybody except Pat Mahomes.
I'm just curious.
Who are you convinced of except Pat Mahomes?
Lamar Jackson will win a Super Bowl.
That's a fair one.
If you told me who I believe will win a Super Bowl or two, it's Lamar.
Lamar may be the only.
Will get there. I'm not so sure about Brock Purdy. And I think that even 49er fans, they know, like, as you continue to go, other guys got to get paid. You saw the holdouts they have. Eventually, this comes undone. And you can't hold on to everybody, and then all of a sudden you don't have those weapons. That's why a game like this is very important to take a look to see if we don't have, and I'm talking about the 49ers,
right.
We don't have these guys. Where are we? How good are we? How good is Brock Purdy? You get drubbed this week without your weapons, then you start to think, is he really that guy?
And you know what the best part about that is, Rob? That you have a John Lynch, a general manager, who has been doing excellent things. So it ain't all on me. It ain't all on, if we lose this guy and if we don't pay him the money, we'll get somebody else. We'll draft well. So shout out to the organization for being well run the last decade where they continue to get to a Super Bowl if it's Garoppolo or Brock Purdy. That's a credit to the organization. So I would love to play for an organization that's going to be like that.